Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices for the 17th of April. We're very close to a top, and we may even have the top in play. And that would be with the S&P 500. It would also be with all the other European indices as well. In a nutshell, from wave 4 here, we've been counting 5 waves to wave 5 here in terms of 1 and 2, nice strong third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave here. So we've been counting 5 waves in this little structure here, and then once that top's in play here, we can look for an ABC for wave 4 to play out here. Okay, so we'll also be looking to go short now. So a bit of a change in trend, but we need some evidence as well, but we'll try and get a few early positions in. Going to the 1 hour chart here for the DAX. In a bit of a nutshell here, so we've got wave 3, wave 4 here, and we're looking for wave 5 here of wave 5. So this low here is not lower than this one here, but on the cash market it is, so that's why I've got wave 4 here. So yeah, this is not the low on the cash, this one here is. So with this one here, if this is the case, we've got 1 and 2 here, 3 ABC for 4 here, and then we're going up for 5. So the idea is to count 5 waves in this little structure here. So at the same time here, we've also got a long position here and here, and I've brought the stop way up into this little area here, and we'll talk about this a bit more. But also too, if that stop is triggered, then get a half a position. That's why the thinner line is there for the short side. And then once 72 here, the 12,072 becomes the retested resistance, you can get a full position in there, and you can also look to add down here further too if you like. Okay, so just coming back here a little bit, with this low here being the low on the cash market, this is where we need to take it from. We've got clear 1 and ABC for 2 here, nice strong third wave here, sideways fourth wave here, and then the fifth wave up here. So it looks a little bit dodgy in this little area here. We can see a strong move here, which looks like a third wave, and this looks like a fourth wave here. So it's possible to have one more new little high here. Okay. So yeah, but let's just go to the tick chart and have a little look at this in a bit more detail, shall we? Let's just get a little bit more data in here as well. So maybe a tad more. Okay, so from this wave 4 here, let's just run through this. Wave 1 and 2 is clear, nice strong third wave here. We counted all 5 waves up in here. I've removed all of those, but we've done that. From wave 3, we've got an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, which is in 5 waves here. And then we've got the move up here as wave 1, and looking at wave 2 on this low here, and then wave 1 and 2 and 3 here, sharp wave 4, didn't overlap, oh maybe a tad, and then the extension is in wave 5 of 3 here, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 5 waves in here. Now this is the tricky little bit here. So basically markets never really, you know, they kind of follow each other to a point, unless there's something, you know, going on in that particular country. But you know, one can top out, and you know, and start a bigger market can top out and start pulling all the other ones down, so the other ones don't top out, you know, in the right way. So we just need to be a bit philosophical about that. So in a nutshell, we're at 12,100. So I know that if 12,130 here, which is group 1 here, the number 3 here, if that finds support, but then we're going higher from that point. If the group 2 here it becomes the retested resistance, then we'll be leaving the 100 and we'll be coming lower at that point. So really the group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80 here is the support, and then 1, 2 and 3 here is the resistance here. So this is the normal range that the market would vibrate at when it's working with this number here, the closest largest number. It could be 200, but in this case it's 100, doesn't make much difference. So we need to be careful what we do, always need to be careful what we do within this space here. Right? It's when they get out of this space, the trend starts. So that's good to know. In terms of this count coming up here from wave 4 here, we've got wave 1 and 2, and we just counted 5 waves up here for blue wave 3 here. And then here, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. This high here hasn't made a new high above this one here, but I could count this as 5 waves down here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we've got 5 waves here. So then we'll have a corrective wave up, and then this looks like a C wave here, the reluctant C wave moving down. And so even though it hasn't made a new high here, it could be the wave 5 here of 5 of 5 of 5 of 3 here. So the top being in play there. If I'm wrong here, then what we would need to see is we would need to see all of this is wave 4 over here, and then still wave 5 to go up to here. But I don't think it's going to, if it moves up here, I doubt if it will find support on top of 30. It can trade above it, but that's not support. Support is when it, like, this is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. So up here, it would be the first high above the level, and then it would fold over. And would it find support on that again, or would it roll over and come down? So, we don't have a clear 5-wave structure here at the moment for this. So we've got sets of 5. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 here. That means after a correction, we'll get another 5 here. And we've got 5 here. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So this gives us an ABC pattern here, which if this is not the top here, and this is wave 3 over here, and all of this is corrective over here, I don't think that we're in a triangle pattern because we've got 5 waves in the first wave here. But it could be an A wave here, a B wave over here, and then 5 waves down here for wave C here. So for 5 waves, we would need 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 5 down to here. So I can't draw. So another 5 waves here, much the same length as this one here, coming up. So it could be coming down to here. This is the trap. So wave 5 coming down to 72 here, and then going up from that point. So I'm thinking that if 72 becomes the retested resistance, then we can look to short at that stage. This could also be bearish coming down here as well. I can put wave 4 back here. This can be wave 1 here, back for wave 2, and then another wave 1 down here, and then back for wave 2, and then coming into wave 3 here. So you could actually short below this one here as well, which is fair enough because we've got a very clear 5-wave structure here. So we can short here, you can short here, you can just put the stop up here if you wanted to. Okay, so you can pretty much go short here really. Coming back to the hourly chart where we sort of do our trades here. So coming back into this here, it would make a little bit more sense now. So, I mean, at first glance here, it looks corrective here that we could move up, but pulling all that apart, we get a better understanding of it. So we know that it's possible for it to have one more move down into here, and then pull and then have another move up to that point. It's also possible from here now that it can just drift straight down here. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if we're going to go short, then we're moving our stop up under this low here, and then we can also have a short trade under that low there as well. But that might get you into trouble there, that trade. So it's just half a position, okay? And then once the 72 here becomes the retested resistance, then we can look to short from that point. Okay, if you're going to go long, then the 12,100 needs to be the support, and it'll take you up to the 30 at that stage. Okay, so what we're looking at here, we're thinking that we've either got the top in play here, or we've got one more move here to have out here. So they're both reasonably valid. I just don't have any evidence of a move down in 5 waves, which is always nice. It's nice if we can get the 5 waves up here to finish, then we can trade the turn. But yeah, so looking in a broader sense, we're basically looking for a top and we're looking to short. Okay, if this one here is triggered under the 72, then also look to add a gain here as well. So let's just copy that, and we'll bring that down. So the next level down, of course, is the midpoint, the 50 here. So once that becomes the retested resistance, you can short that there as well. So we'll build into the short side. So all our long sides moving out now. And this will be the same for France as well, the CAC here. So won't go into a lot of detail. Wave 4 here, wave 1 and 2 here. And then I'm looking at all of this being the third wave to here and a fourth wave to here. I know that's a bit crazy, but I have to look at this as 1 and 2 into here, and 3 and 4 and I'll have to go to the tick chart now. But before we go here, I don't think we went long with all this here, did we, in this one, in this little section here. So, but we can go short now. So the short trade while I'm here is, it's just getting that level there, still not level. So 5 this is 500 is the main number here, right? And then we've got group 1 above, which is 1, 2 and 3 here. If 2 here, the 20 becomes the resistance, then we'll have a top in play and you can start looking to short there. We can also look to short when this becomes the resistance here as well. Okay. Yeah, look, I won't go to the tick chart because it'll just get a little bit messy there. If that's the case, if 20 becomes the resistance, and you know what I'm talking about there, so if I can just come over here from, I'll just do it here. So market will come down to 2, it will bounce off 2, it will come through 2, and then go back up and test it. So then that becomes the short trade here. Okay, you can take a chance and short it early if you wanted to, but we don't have any evidence, and we're certainly moving against the trend at that point. And the FTSE's much the same as well. So okay, so I'll just squash this in a bit. So from wave 4 here, we're looking for wave 5 here. It doesn't look like it's finished here. I've just got to bring the cash market up just for myself to have a look at. Just bear with me a second. And we'll go to, if we pick up from wave 4 here, because all this is quite obvious, well, to me it is. So, but this is not very obvious to me either. It's really messy in here. So wave 1 here. So, I mean, from wave 4 here, it's just really messy. But on the cash market, I'm looking at the cash market. I'm not going to take a photo of it and put it up, but we can have a top in play here. So we were long here. We need to bring the stop up here now under any breach of the midpoint here, the 50, the 750 area here, and then we can also look to short this 50 area here as well. Okay, so I'll just go to the tick chart, see if I've got anything better here. Kind of interesting. Okay, so all right, okay, it's clearer. So from this wave 4, we've got 1 and 2 here, and then nice strong third wave in 5 waves, fourth wave and fifth wave. So it's possible to have a top in here, but I also don't have 5 waves down. I do in one sense. I have, just copy that here. 1 here, 2 here. Wave 3 would be down here. I'll just map this out and it can be a little bit helpful. So 1 here, 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got the third wave here. This is the fourth wave here. So that means the fifth wave. I mean, even if this was coming down here as a corrective wave, then this would be an A wave and a B wave to here. And then this would be the C wave to here. So that would be 3 waves, A, B, and C to here. So really what we can do, and this is why we use the midpoint here as well. I'll just copy these here. So this will be the ABC rally. Just move these out of the way here. So I can't draw on this side of the tick chart, as you know. So we'd still need to get one more move down to here. So once this low here is in play, then that would give us our so if I come over here and do this, so it comes down, it'll have a little bounce, whatever, was a wave 3 and 4, and then come down for wave 5 here. So once that low is in place here, this one here, then that becomes the short trade setup from, I can't draw on that side, get rid of that. That becomes the short. So you could short below this one here, because if that one's breached, if this low is breached here of this 5 and 3 here, then we're going to get 5 waves here. If we get 5 waves here, then we're going to have a corrective wave back up. So if we take this top here, roughly, and you have to adjust this. I'll just put it down to the 30 here. So that means the market can come back to this space here. It may not, but it's depending on where things are, but that just gives us a rough, always get a bounce off 3. So that's where it can take us. I'll just bring that down to here. That wave 4 can also pull back up to this wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, but I'll just leave that there. You'll have to make the adjustments there. So, I mean, realistically, this would be the short. This would be the short over here. But if you like this market and you've nothing to do, well then you could short it from here down to here, get out, and then we just wait for the bounce to come back up. But if we get these 5 here, then that's the evidence that we've started our move to the downside at that point. Okay. And it also means too that if you do short it here, anywhere in here, once we've got this much evidence, this 1, 2, and 3 is evidence, and that taking that low out there, then you still need to leave the stop out of the way above the 72 here. Okay, so I'll just save that, and then we'll go back to the 1 hour chart. So then that means this stop, whatever you do here, this stop needs to be up here somewhere after that. Okay, I hope that makes a bit of sense. Yeah, I mean, I thought this could be a wave 4 over here as an A wave here and a B wave up here and a C wave coming down to here. But the cash market's reasonably clear of what's what, so we don't need this one here anymore. So the next one is the MIB, Italy here. So this also wave 4 here, and we've got wave 1, which is clear, ABC for 2 here, and then last time we spoke we were counting up here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I think we're in here somewhere, weren't we? So wave 3 here. I've got the same problem here. This does look like a little impulse wave, but it certainly doesn't make the high here. So this could still be wave 4 here for this one. We don't have a long trade in this section here. Oh, we did. I think we did actually. But either way, the stop can go where this green line is here. Okay, it may even pay for you to move out of this, bring it even closer up in here and get out. But for the short side here, if this is going to move down with the other market, then this low, this bar here, its low here, that being breached there would put this down too far at that point. So from here to here, the 61.8% is here. That's why we would tuck it in under here. Yeah, so that's where your long stop needs to be, and that's where your short needs to be as well. But also too, I've just put the thin line in here, so that means that it's just half a position, taking that out here. And then the full trade would be when the 800 here comes down, comes under here, retests back up, and then that's the reference point, put it 1 point under that, and if it fails at that point, then we're on our way at that stage there. You could short higher here, but I just don't have any evidence whatsoever. So this could actually work higher and finish this fifth wave off here, because I just don't have, it's just not, we don't have that fifth wave there as a wave 1 and 2 and 3, an A and a B and a C for wave 4. So it's quite possible that this can move up here on this one, but yeah, I don't know. So is that the top, even though it hasn't made a new high here? It does look rather, I need to pull it apart before I open my gob. Main point here is that if you're long, the stop needs to go here. This would be the short trade here, and then this would be the short trade under here as well, and then we can start looking at the downside for this, but it's not clear that we have a top in place for this one here just yet. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.